minutes to go in the national final, and they're standing on the fence here watching the concluding stages. Anthony Bear, first home, wins the Australian final. Fireworks on the infield. Second place to Brad McClure.
Ash Media's coverage of the Australian Street Stock title is proudly brought to you by Speedway Sedans Australia.
Away and racing in the B main. Down into turn number 1 and 2 the first time. The traffic jam of cars, and Daniel Amajuri from Western Australia pokes the nose in front as they head down into turn 3 and 4. Jason Jewell right there with him. Jamie Locke is in the lead group as they come out of 4 the first time. 1 lap down. Locke goes up into 4th place. Steve Gardner's there. Matt Templar and Daniel Barton is in the middle of the track. They're 4 across the track as they head down the back straight. Jason Jewell the leader. On the outside is Daniel Amajuri as they come out of 3 and 4. Locke is on the inside of Stephen Gardner, and also right up there is the 188 of Matt Templar. Daniel Barton is the next car, then Sean Henry. Trouble. This is going to be a multi-car pile-up. Yep. Yes, indeed. Daniel Amajuri. Daniel Amajuri in the lead group has spun, or has been spun. There's been contact, and then there's been more contact. 141. Stewie Robinson being put on the tilt tray. As they clear the debris down there in turn 1 and 2, the cars continue to circulate through the centre field. Plenty of SMS messages still coming through. Apologies for those I haven't got to. There's a lot. My reporter down in. So we get ourselves ready for a restart. Into the main straight we come with the restart. Back underway in the B main, 18 to go. Jason Jewell leads them down the main straight. Into turn number 1 from Daniel Amajuri. Behind him is Jamie Locke and then Matt Templar. Amajuri's dropped off the pace compared to that set by the leader of Jason Jewell. Matt Templar 3/4 track high. So move into the main straight. Back underneath him would be Barton. Sean Henry's there along with Brooke Ferguson. Behind Brooke Ferguson is Hayden Norman. 3 down and 17 to go. After Norman, there's a bit of a gap to Matt Nelson, Darren Brumfield, and he's been passed by another car, which is Scott Mason. So move down the main straight. Jason Jewell, Amajuri, Jamie Locke is underneath of Amajuri. On the outside of Amajuri is 188 of Matt Templar. Templar levels up, and they go either side of Jamie Locke. Amajuri back to 2nd, Templar 3rd, Locke back to 4th. Barton on the outside in 5th place with Sean Henry. Brooke Ferguson's in that group of cars. There's a wall of cars, let's be honest. And then Hayden Norman. Templar back to 2nd. Locke back to 3rd. Amajuri back to 4th. Amajuri back to 3rd. No, make that 4th. No, make it 3rd. Barton goes around the outside of both Locke and Amajuri. They both run wide. Locke back to 3rd. Amajuri squashed between Barton and Locke down into turn number 1. Out in front is Jason Jewell. 2nd place Matt Templar. 3rd place in an entertaining B main is Daniel Barton. 4th place is now that of Jamie Locke. Brooke Ferguson 5th. On the outside is Daniel Amajuri. Underneath of Amajuri now comes the 66 of Hayden Norman. Sean Henry's there along with Matt Nelson. He'll throw a T-tail over 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Few car lengths back to Scott Mason. Behind them Darren Brumfield, Donegan is next. Then Darren Forrest, Steve Gardner, Mark Jennings. So 12 laps to go in the B main for Spencer Race Engines, the Australian Street Stock title, and they're all circulating nicely. The first 4 qualify. Jason Jewell out in front. Matt Templar from Tasmania in 2nd place. A gap back to Daniel Barton on the outside of Jamie Locke. 5th place is that of Brooke Ferguson. 6th is Hayden Norman, Sean Henry, Matt Nelson. Daniel Amajuri back to 9th place now, and he's slowing down. Back to Scott Mason. Oh, there's two cars around. Amaturi is one of those. And the other one, I think, is... No, I was going to say Scott Mason. I'd be wrong because he's down in the main straight. Amaturi's got black smoke pouring out the back end. Trying to work out who the other car is that is now getting mobile. It's Gardner in 32. Steve Gardner. 11 laps remain. 4 to qualify. Can Brooke Ferguson get past Jamie Locke and get one of the final transfer spots as they come into the main straight? Jason Jewell will lead Matt Templar, Daniel Barton and Jamie Locke. Back to Brooke Ferguson. Down into turn 1 and 2. Templar runs wide. Barton is there. Sean Henry trying to qualify. He was in the second row, I think, last year in the national final. Hayden Norman trying to qualify as well. He was in last year's national final. It's Jewell at the halfway mark. Templar, Barton, Locke, Ferguson and Henry. And 32 has spun here in the main straight. Lucky not to be hit. It's Steve Gardner. He's trying to get the car mobile. He can't. The yellow lights have come on again. We're down to 14 cars remaining with 10 to go. 14 of these cars won't go into 4. 4 of them want to be in the big dance coming up. Jewell, Templar, Barton, Locke and Ferguson as we go green. Out of turn number 2, Jason Jewell leads them. Back into second place is Matt Templar. Third position is that of Barton coming under Templar. Locke, Ferguson, Henry and Hayden Norman. Back to Matt Nelson as they go out of turn number 2. Jason Jewell, the leader for Matt Templar. Jamie Locke comes underneath of Daniel Barton. Brooke Ferguson there in 5th place. On the outside is Sean Henry. Henry runs very wide. On the inside is Hayden Norman. Hayden Norman comes up underneath of Brooke Ferguson. On the outside of Brooke Ferguson is that of Sean Henry. Henry's going on with the business. Jamie Locke in 3rd place. On the outside of him is Daniel Barton. Underneath is Sean Henry is Hayden Norman. Into the main straight. Henry hits the fence. Here in the main straight trying to pass Locke. He has passed Locke. Underneath of Locke goes Hayden Norman. Hayden Norman now up behind Sean Henry. Here's another car diving into the equation. It's the 161 of Matt Nelson. Oh, this is going to end in tears. Brooke Ferguson, Brunfield and several other cars involved in a pile-up here in the main straight right in front of us. Dave Donegan whacked on the brakes. Good defensive driving by Brunfield to miss Brooke Ferguson, who has been hit from pillar to post right in front of us, and she's backing the car out of the fence. Some damage to the panel work, but she may be okay. So, 7 laps to go in the B main for Spencer Race Engines. In front of this massive crowd at Redline Raceway, the green lights are on. And Jason Jewell leads them down the main straight for Matt Templar. Here's the first move coming through. 3/4 track high is Daniel Barton. Following through is Sean Henry. And diving to the inside will be Hayden Norman. Brooke Ferguson behind them. Nelson on the outside as they move into the main straight. Jewell, Templar. Down into turn number 1 and 2. Hayden Norman goes underneath the Sean Henry and goes into 4th place. Henry will fight back as they head down the back straight. So the West Australian goes into 4th, goes into 3rd, and now in between Barton and Hayden Norman comes Sean Henry into the main straight. Oh, trouble! More trouble! Barton has spun. Another car avoided the incident, hit the fence. It's all happening here in front of us. It's car number 41, Darren Forrest, is in the fence. I didn't even see him in the fence, I was watching others. And the B main just can't do more than a couple of laps without a big bingle. So, the tilt trays, we're running out of tilt trays. for this one. Jewel will lead Templar, Henry and Turners Beach, Tasmania. 6 to go in B main. That's had everything. Still 12 cars out there. Numerous have been crashed out or sent rear of field. And Jason Jewell still leads. So going to turn 1 for Matt Templar. Third place Sean Henry, then Hayden Norman. Then back to Brooke Ferguson. She needs to get a move on to stay with Hayden Norman to try and challenge for the final transfer spot. Nelson in 6, Mason 7th. And then back then to Darren Brumfield. 5 laps remaining. Jason Jewell does the quick lap of the race in 18.471. Templar second. Third place is Sean Henry. Back in 4th place, Hayden Norman. Brooke Ferguson there in 5th place. So come up now with 4 laps to go. Back then to Nelson in 6th, then Mason, Brumfield, and then the 175 of David Donegan, Jennings and Locke and Forrest. 175 Donegan makes a mistake, but the race continues. The first 4 cars are clear and look like qualifying at this stage with 3 to go. Into the main straight, Jason Jewell. 188 of Matt Templar, Sean Henry, Hayden Norman. They don't want to bring themselves undone in the concluding stages of this one. 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Brooke Ferguson 5th. And she's about 5 or 6 car lengths behind the lead 4 cars. Down the main straight they come again. Jason Jewell the leader. 2nd place is Sean Henry. Under pressure from the 188 of Matt Templar. Brooke Ferguson spun there in 5th place. She backs the car off the track. There's 2 to go. The white flag coming out, 1 remaining. Jason Jewell will lead them for home. 2nd place, Sean Henry, Matt Templar. Then Hayden Norman, Scott Mason, and then Nelson in 6th. Mark Jennings, Jamie Locke, David Donegan, Darren Brumfield and Darren Forrest. So come out of 3 and 4 for the last time. Jason Jewell will advance to the national final. Jason Jewell first across the line. Sean Henry 2nd. 3rd place goes to Hayden Norman. Matt Templar 4th. Scott Mason doesn't make it, neither does Matt Nelson. Mark Jennings, Jamie Locke, Darren Brumfield, David Donegan, and the last to complete the distance is Darren Forrest. The race went for over 25 minutes to get those 20 laps done. 1.357 was the margin, and the quick lap was an 18.471 by Jason Jewell. He defeats Sean Henry and Hayden Norman in the B main, and along with those 3, Matt Templar will be the last car to transfer to the 40-lap A main coming up later tonight.
Anything that happens for me is awesome. Like, I wanted to get in, I got in, so that's awesome.
You had to work hard for it though. There was lots of stuff happening out there. Yeah,
no, I thought there would have been. I just pushed on and tried to stay low and just keep out of trouble, and that was good. Big thanks to all my crew, everyone that's got me here, my family. But I've been working on the car, and yeah, it's great.
Do you think you'll have to make many changes for the car or leave it as it is?
If the track stays the way it is, yeah, I'll definitely leave the car the way it is, so it was good.
It's fast, leave alone, huh?
Yeah, no, it's good, yeah.
Congratulations, he's into the A main. Our B main winner, Jason Jewell.